What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Hardwood Convos podcast here on the 515 Podcast Network. I'm Brock Bierman alongside Hunter Rose and Chase Winterboard. Dawson Livingston wasn't able to make it tonight for the recording. We're actually live on Instagram, I think, for the first time ever. So that's a great thing that we got going on for us. But boys, it's basically Christmas, favorite month of the year, man. March Madness. I mean, what else can you say? How are we feeling heading into the week of the NCAA tournament?
I'm mad.
Oh,
I'm
great.
pissed off. That's why I'm feeling.
No, same, Hunter. I'm feeling excited and also pissed off as well. Very good point.
I think I know why you guys are both maybe a little upset. I mean, do you guys want to just jump into the elephant in the room with the East Regional?
Yeah. I need 60-year-old men to be out of Hooper talks for the rest of time. Please. This is appalling. I'm no college basketball expert, but something tells me when a team is ranked 7th in the country and proceeds to embarrass two other phenomenal teams, they should probably, I don't know, move up past the two teams that lost.
This guy's spitting right now, man. This guy's spitting. I think what it is, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the top. We got 3 of the top 9 net teams in the same freaking region. I mean, where are we coming up with that? Like, serious question. Where are we coming up with that?
Yeah, obviously.
I don't know.
Obviously, we're talking about the East region where we got North Carolina, UConn as the number 1 overall seed, followed by the 2 seed in Iowa State. We got also the 3 seed in Illinois, who won the Big Ten conference tournament, as well as some other good teams in this division, this regional. Drake is a team that a lot of people had circled as a potential Sweet 16 team before the brackets even came out. From the Missouri Valley, San Diego State was in the Final Four last year. Actually, 3 of the 4 Final Four teams, if I'm right, are in this region from last season: UConn, San Diego State, and FAU. So couldn't have asked for a tougher draw for anybody. So obviously, us being Iowa State fans, we all have our biases towards that. But anybody that got a draw in this region is really, really shaping up to be in a sticky situation. If they make it to the Final Four, whoever makes it to the Final Four out of this region, is not guaranteed a national championship, but will probably go through the toughest road to the Final Four compared to the other regions.
Well, they're guaranteed, Brock. 100%.
No, yeah, I totally agree. And the thing is like I saw some people like on Twitter. I think his name's like John Fanta. I think he's like the huge Big East guy who's been covering all their stuff. But he said like UConn has an easy path to the Final Four. I'm like, what are you talking about, brother? Like easy path to the final? This is like the toughest region.
Not only that, he said an easy path meeting Auburn in the Elite 8. What is that?
Auburn is a 4 seed.
How would that make sense?
I think they should have been a 3 seed. Okay, real quick, I don't know if you guys saw this. So BYU gets the 6 seed, and I thought that this was a little low for them. Come to find out, they were supposed to be a higher seed. However, BYU does not play on Sundays, and where they were going to go would have resulted in them playing on a Sunday. So the tournament put them in as a 6 seed in this region, making it that more difficult of a path to the Final Four because BYU does not play on Sundays. Just something I'd like to point out for people that may not know why BYU got the 6 seed, because I thought that was a little low. It kind of shocked me. But it is because they do not play athletic events on Sundays. And I know that from experience working in athletics. We've had to move games before because BYU does not play on Sundays. Just making this East Regional
I saw it also
difficult.
No, I saw they're supposed to be the top 5 seed, and now they are a 6 seed. Crazy.
And there are no cakewalks in this region. I could almost, if I'm being completely honest, except for the 1 and 16 seed, I could see an upset almost in every first round game. Not going to happen, obviously, but there is a good chance that an upset could happen, or the majority upsets in this region happen in the first round.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, did you want to dive into some of these games, Brock?
Yeah, go ahead. I know you were in the lab the last 24 hours looking at these games, breaking them down. I know you got some notes. We also will have a video for you of you tomorrow of teams that people should be watching out for that could be potential sleepers. And I mean, one of them is in this region. So, I mean, Chase, go ahead, break down some of the games that you have your eye on. We don't obviously need to get through all of them because, UConn, if UConn, this, in my opinion, if this UConn team loses to a 16 seed, it would be more shocking than both of the other two one seeds losing to a 16 seed. This UConn team is elite. And Stetson's also making their first ever NCAA tournament.
Jalen Blackman may have other plans, Brock. We will be seeing, brother. No, yeah, I can. I mean, yeah. If you guys just want to interrupt me whenever, just feel free to. But yeah, I kind of just made this sheet here that I'm just gonna kind of go down if you don't mind. But, anyways, yeah, I'm sorry, Stetson, but it's probably over. Unless Jalen Blackman puts up 50 like Giannis did in Game 6 of the NBA Finals. Anyways, that game's over. Okay, I want to talk about this FAU Northwestern game for a little bit, if you don't mind. How in the world is FAU an 8 seed? Can anybody tell me? I mean, this team had some absolutely awful losses. Awful losses. I get that the committee made this in December after they beat Arizona. It had a decent knock-on, but they had some horrific losses, man. And this, I mean, FAU just plays to the level of competition, like their competition at all. Like literally the entire season, they just play their level of competition. So I don't understand how they're an 8 seed. I'm ranting. I think another question in this matchup is, will the injury of Ty Berry for Northwestern catch up to them? Obviously, Boo Boo is going to have to be the guy in this matchup.
Boo-booey.
Yeah, Boo Booey's a dog. He is a dog. I would keep an eye on him. And then another interesting stat I found is Northwestern has given up 36% from three away from home this season. And as we know, FAU can get hot behind three. John L. Davis we obviously know what he can do. So that's just an interesting stat I'm going to throw out there. But that's kind of that first matchup. I don't know if you boys got any quick thoughts.
I love the 8-9s as we will get into this. The 8-9s and the 5-12s this year, unbelievable. There's one 8-9 that I'm not looking forward to whatsoever, and it has nothing to do necessarily with well, actually, it does have everything to do with what one of the teams got selected into the tournament, but we'll get into that later on. But I love this one between FAU and Northwestern. I feel like each region, there's a couple of teams where you can see names potentially have like that Jimmer Fredette-esque kind of day where like everybody will remember where they were. Boo Booey's one of those guys from Northwestern. That guy is a dog, man. Like he puts in 110% every game. I'd say watch out for Northwestern. Obviously, if they were an 8-9 in the Purdue region, that I could see them being a Sweet 16 team. But unfortunately, they're going up against UConn. But who knows? Maybe Boo Booey could be the reason why everybody's brackets get busted this year.
Me personally, I'm a Big Ten hater. They're losing.
My man, Hunter.
Just saying.
We're gonna be doing a lot of Big Ten hate this podcast. Sorry, everybody. But that's just how it's gonna be. So I'm with you, Hunter. But yeah, next game, the San Diego State UAB game. I know Brock actually. I'm gonna let Brock take the floor on this one. I know Brock might have a little bit to say. So
I don't know. UAB. I watched them a couple times during the conference tournament. They're good. I don't also like San Diego State though. I don't like this matchup whatsoever. As in, like, I just don't like either of the teams. Both of them are if they win the first round, they'll probably lose the second round. I think the winner of this one will probably end up losing to Auburn. No offense to Yale, but Auburn is playing some of the best basketball in the country right now. I really don't. I haven't decided yet because I haven't filled out. I'll fill out my bracket Wednesday night, but I haven't decided between these two. I've flipped back and forth. UAB does unfortunately have a history of upsetting teams in the first round. But San Diego State, has made a run before, but I don't know. If I had to go right now, and again, on Wednesday, it'll probably change. I'd probably go San Diego State right now.
Yeah, that's valid too, Brock. And kind of touching on San Diego State a little bit. I just think it's going to be hard for them to repeat their success from last year. Obviously making that crazy run in the championship game. I mean, that's just tough to do. And I think the loss of Keyshawn, I think it's Keyshawn Johnson. No, what's his name? You know what I'm talking about, the guy who though went to Arizona. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on his name, but I think that's going to kill him. Because they pretty much got Jaden Ledee down low, and I've watched him a couple times this year, and there's times where they just will struggle on the glass. So I think it's gonna be tough for them. And then I would just say, for UAB, Eric Gaines, that's gonna be their guy. So that's who I'd look forward to in that matchup. But Hunter, anything?
You guys got it, man. You guys got that one.
Okay. And then I don't really got much for the next one. Auburn Yale. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Auburn is undefeated in the first round under Bruce Pearl. I could be wrong.
Let me look that up.
Yeah, look it up real quick. Just a crazy number, and I think it's like I forget what it is, but I thought I saw that somewhere, so I need to throw that out. Fact check me though. So yeah, and I think Auburn rolls in this one. I respect the Ivy League. That was a heck of a game. I hope everyone watched that. I didn't. I was at St. Patty's Day lunch. Shout out, Mom.
By the way,
but, yeah,
Yale is lucky to be in the NCAA tournament right now.
They are.
Brown played a really good game up until the final minute, could not make free throws, and they played the worst defense on a final clutch play situation. And they were below 500, so I was even shocked in the first place to even see them in the Ivy League championship. Side note, the Ivy League championship, the Ivy League tournament should be changed to the Gentlemen's Conference tournament because it just screams Ivy League. But anyways, no, Yale is very lucky, and they're not the only lucky team to be making the big dance. We'll get to that other team. You guys probably know who I'm referencing to, but we'll get to that later on.
Yeah. Hunter, anything for the Auburn Yale one?
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of time, I think this is an interesting matchup too, just because what I like seeing is just teams that are hot, right? And with Yale, obviously getting way farther than they, anyone probably expected, like Brock said. I mean, who knows what could have happened potentially, but the fact they're against Auburn, like that's tough. Like, even if they are lucky to be there, that is an unfortunate first round to have to deal with after doing what they did.
I found Bruce Pearl's resume as a head coach. Before Auburn, he was also at Tennessee and then Milwaukee before then. He has only been eliminated from the first round twice in his entire career. 3 times if you count the year that the NCAA tournament didn't happen, but that does not count. So twice in his entire career, never with Auburn.
Yeah.
And
yep.
Yeah, he's had some great runs.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like you just gotta ride with Auburn there. This next game, this might be one of my favorite games in this region. But I might talk about this one a little bit. But it is Brock's team, Duquesne, aka Duquesne, versus BYU. I mean, I'm pumped for this one. I think there's a lot of people out there that are sleeping on Duquesne. I think Brock will post a video. I think it was like a 2-minute video I had there talking about Duquesne. But this matchup, man, I am pumped for it. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Duquesne. They kind of snuck in, I guess, in the tournament. They beat VCU Sunday. But, I mean, this Duquesne team, they are good. Day Grant, keep an eye on him. I'm going to highlight him a lot. I think he's a phenomenal guard for this team. Duquesne kind of slows it down, too. They play a slow tempo, kind of opposite of BYU. Duquesne also has a very good defense, top 30 defense according to Ken Pom as well. I think that a lot of people are just taking him on the radar. Also, important fact that I just found out today, Duquesne's coach is retiring after the season. So you can't tell me that they're not going to have an extra motivation in this game as well. And, I have a lot more I can talk about, but I'm just going to let you guys talk. Sorry.
Do you know who he coached at one point in his career?
Who did he coach? His name, I have no idea.
Some guy that scored 40,000 career points in the NBA. Apparently he was like LeBron's high school head coach or something like that.
Dude, that's all you needed to say. I'm taking this team now for sure. Thank you, Brock.
But first tournament appearance since 1977. I think his dad was the head coach of that team. which makes it even more special.
Yeah.
I don't pick my brackets based off of storylines, but Hunter and Chase both know I'm a sucker for storylines when it comes to sports and everything. And this storyline with Duquesne is unbelievable. Had a great run in their conference tournament. Their coach obviously is retiring after this year. We'll have another storyline that I'll mention about another coach later on in this episode. First tournament appearance since 1977. His wife has also been going through cancer treatment as well. So this is just a recipe for an unbelievable story in the NCAA tournament this year. I'd love to see them make the Sweet 16 because I don't know, just the storyline from this team just can warm everybody's heart with how this team has persevered through everything on and off the court. So this is a team that, even though I hate their name, I would love to see make a run.
Yes. Hunter, any comments?
He's a big BYU guy.
Big 12 guy. Big 12. Shout out newcomer BYU.
Yeah, and I love
taking them.
BYU as well, man. I love them. Got great fans there. But yeah,
real quick, BYU is a team that always starts really well from from three, because people aren't used to playing against a team that will shoot like literally. There's a definition in the Webster's dictionary of living and dying by the three. BYU's basketball logo would be there. The problem with BYU is that teams have been able to adjust their defense quickly, which has resulted in BYU not always capitalizing off of their quick starts in games.
Yes, and yeah, I really think Duquesne's defense is very solid, man. I think a lot of people are gonna be surprised by that in this matchup, and I don't know, like you said, bro. I think BYU can. I mean, they can literally beat anyone. They can also lose to anyone. So,
yep.
I don't know. But yeah, I'm looking for that's probably the matchup I got circled in this region. But yeah, I'll keep it going. I'll try not to talk too much. I feel like I'm talking way too much. Anyways, though, Illinois Morehead State. I want to take Morehead here, man. I'm a sucker for the underdog. Morehead State, though, is very, very, fun name too. I didn't say that. But yeah, they're very, very old. They have a lot of seniors. Watch out for Riley Minix. I have him highlighted. Watched him in the championship game. He's very, very good. He can put up buckets. Illinois is not going to play defense worth a darn. Could be a high-scoring game, but I know Morehead State kind of slows it down a little bit as well. So that's kind of all I got for that one. We could talk about it more, but I don't know. Thoughts?
I'm high on the Fighting Illini. I didn't watch much of the Big Ten tournament. I'm not going to lie. I did watch their game, or at least the first half versus Nebraska. And but I didn't watch the second half. So when I tuned in game and I saw Illinois' logo and not Nebraska, I was a little confused as to why Illinois was playing in the Big Ten championship game. But they scored 58 points in the second half in that semifinal game against the Nebraska Cornhuskers. So, this is a team that got actually a decent draw for what they are, because BYU's defense isn't really electric. So assuming if Illinois moves on and they match up with BYU, so Illinois is going to be able to, it's going to be a shootout between those two teams in the round of 32 if that happens. Duquesne could be a team that maybe could stop them because they do play a little more tougher defense. But I really like Illinois in this little region pod of the East region.
I don't know, man. All I see, they're not getting to the Sweet 16. That's what I'm saying. Big 12 hoops will beat Big 10 hoops. I'm here to say it all stream long.
I can't wait for our official brackets to be released on social media so everybody will know who we're taking.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, it's all right, man. Okay, next one. I'm fine with talking about these next two matchups a little bit more, just because it's 5-1-5. But dude, this is actually gonna be a really good one. Washington State, Wazoo versus Drake. I think there's a lot you can talk about here, especially with Drake kind of getting paired up with Iowa State. I know a lot of people don't know much about Wazoo just because, they really weren't expected to do anything for the season. Miles Rice is a dog though. He's their point guard. He wears long sleeves when he plays. Great player. I think he actually beat cancer as well. You can double check me on that. Great story. He's been great. They also have a guy. I think his name is Jalen. I'm drawing a blank on his last name. He's number 0 though. I feel I should know this, but he's shooting 42% from 3. He can absolutely light it up from Wazoo. Keep an eye on them. Wazoo also top 30 defense. That'll be interesting to go against Tucker. Brock obviously has a lot to talk about Drake, so have the floor, bud.
Dude, it pains me that they are in the same region as Iowa State, and they would actually face Iowa State if they win against Washington State. I thought they were an 8-9 team. I thought that they should have been in the 8-9 region. I feel like that just screams winner of the Missouri Valley Conference, because that's just kind of how it always has been recently. And we will get into the Missouri Valley, don't worry, before the end of the show, a little bit about how upset I am about them not being a 2-bid league. They have lost some games that they probably shouldn't. They got destroyed by Northern Iowa 91-77 before the end of the regular season, but they had a really good showing in the conference tournament. They had a big lead against Indiana State, almost blew it, but DeVries and the crew were able to come out big with that one. DeVries is almost averaging 22 points a game, and my X factor actually for this team, this Drake team, is Darnell Brody. When he's dominating inside for the Bulldogs, it is tough to beat this Drake team. And I'm not gonna lie, matchup wise, he can draw fouls. The first 2 games, assuming they beat Washington State, they match up well against Iowa State. And if Brody can stay out of foul trouble, it's literally going to be who between Iowa State and Drake, who in the post does not get in foul trouble, will win that game, because there's been situations where Iowa State has had some players get into foul trouble. Rob's one of those, but that's just kind of the type of player he is. But if Brody's able to stay out of foul trouble, man, and he's able to dominate inside like he's been the last couple games, more specifically all year, averaging 11 points, almost 8 rebounds, shooting 63% from the field. Man, this Drake team, I've been high on them all year. It's really, really, really painful that the second round matchup would have to be against Iowa State for me.
Yeah, I think honestly, just kind of like you said, gotta rep the alum as an alumni with the Missouri Valley. It's just such a tough conference. I feel like it's very competitive where, they're going to be able to show out. Whoever wins is going to be able to show out and have their chance. And so, yeah, definitely makes me a little nervous, but I don't know. I'm listening to Chase, so Wazoo, who knows?
No, seriously, no one talks about Wazoo, man. Obviously, just being around, Iowa, people talk about Drake, but this Wazoo team is pretty good. If you saw it earlier, they beat Arizona on the road. That was a heck of a game. But yeah, it's going to be a great matchup. I think Drake's pretty much like a pick 'em, I think, from what I saw. So, yeah, that'll be a good one as well. And then
I would like
lastly,
to mention,
I don't really got.
I'll mention this real quick. The worst thing, this would have been such a great storyline. I don't know if y'all remember this, but Joseph Yusufu actually transferred to Washington State last offseason from Kansas, and he was a former player for the Drake Bulldogs. So that would have been a great storyline. He unfortunately got hurt early in the year, so he will not be playing for Washington State in the NCAA tournament, but just something I'd like to point out, and I would have been a great matchup / storyline kind of idea, but unfortunately Yusufu is out.
Yeah, thank you, Brock, for adding that. I actually totally forgot about that. But yeah, and then last one, yeah, like I said, Iowa State, South Dakota State. Obviously the Hendo odds connection, because odds was at South Dakota State. That'll be interesting to see. I don't know. I really don't got a whole lot for this one. I think Zeke Mayo is a phenomenal guard. If Iowa State just got to stop him, he can get going. But other than that, I really don't got a whole. I think the Clones take care of business here.
I'm biased, so I won't say anything.
Oh, I'm biased, so I'm saying everything. Everything. But no, I think, man, honestly, the most dangerous, on one hand, we're all upset of Iowa State not being 1 seed, right? But at the end of the day, they did us a big favor, putting a chip on the shoulder, right? I think I saw a clip earlier today. It just looked like, they were obviously excited about winning the Big 12, right? And being back home, but I think they're just ready to take care of business at this point. It's just like, man, Like what is like why? Like, you know, being able to beat teams the way they beat teams now, the way they've shown out the Big 12 down in KC, it's over. It's over.
No, yeah, I'm with you, Hunter. I know, like, I think it's kind of good too. And I know I was talking about it with you guys a little bit last night, but I think it's also kind of good for Iowa State because no one's going to be on Iowa State. Everyone's down Iowa State. I have a million receipts on Twitter. I'm ready to fire off just in case. And like, I think it's going to be hard for us to overlook, or sorry, I'm saying us, I'm just biased, but it's going to be hard for Iowa State to overlook teams now. I mean, they're going to have to take every game seriously, even South Dakota State, because, you know, TJ has that connection there. So he's going to be taking that one serious. Obviously, if they get Drake, take that serious. I mean, it's just going to be hard for them to overlook games. So
is there any way that if and when Iowa State wins the national championship this year, that we can get another like WWE championship title belt that Keyshawn Gilbert can hold?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Because
yes, Brock.
I don't care. Y'all, people can hate on the WWE, but their partnership with the Big 12, these title things for the most outstanding player things are like one of the coolest things ever. And I think the players, like, I don't know why I would assume they wouldn't get to keep them, but like that, I'd take a championship title belt over a trophy that said I did well, because you can literally, not that you would, but you could literally wear it around versus carrying a trophy. This is one of the coolest things in the world. I don't care what people's opinions are on the WWE, but this is one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah, I'm with you, Brock. That is cool. I was hoping Big Rob would have got it, but I love my boy Keyshawn as well. That's freaking awesome. Good for him. But yeah, that's all we got from the East region. I'll hurry things up here in the South. I probably won't break down every game. I'm taking too long. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Okay, for my notes I wrote down Houston comes out pissed. That's the only thing I got for that.
I feel bad for Longwood because it's going to be a long game.
Nope.
Well said, Brock. I see what you did there. But yeah, Hunter, anything?
I'm just excited for round 4. That's all I'll say.
Yes, sir. That would be something, man. That would be
fire.
Yeah. Respect to I like Houston fans, man. I have no problem with Houston fans, by the way. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Seem like good people. Okay. Nebraska A&M. Okay. That game I'm looking forward to a lot. I think Brock kind of hinted at it earlier. The 8-9 games are gonna be phenomenal. I think this game's gonna be great. I got high scoring game written down. I think both these teams can put up points. And then I think this is right. I need my boy Gus Pope on here. But is this gonna be the first time Nebraska could ever get a win in the tourney?
Let me look it up. I am about 99.99% sure that Nebraska has never won a NCAA tournament. Yeah, they have never won an NCAA tournament. So Fred Hoiberg has a chance to do something that no other Nebraska head coach has ever done.
Let's go.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of storylines in this game too, and also I don't forget his name, but the Nebraska AD went to A&M.
Trev Alberts.
So, yes, thank you. Yeah, I think that's another story.
I just want to point this out, and I know that you two probably don't care, but like they matched up at Nebraska and A&M in both the men's and women's tournament, and I saw the tweet from the AD, and he's like, "Oh, this is awkward." One of the best tweets ever, because he literally last week was just like, "See ya," and now he's like, "Oh God."
Yeah, I feel like they definitely did that on purpose. Like, you can't tell me otherwise.
Oh, okay. Real quick, anybody that says that the NCAA selection committee does not pick off of storylines is a complete idiot. This is one of those examples. I make the argument that the Drake Iowa State selection in Omaha is another one of those examples. That's just what I think. My 2 cents.
Yeah, and we'll talk about it in the West region, but I think the Caleb Love possibly versus UNC in the Elite 8 storyline. But yeah, no, I think this game's gonna be fun, high scoring. My last thing I'm gonna throw out, Wade Taylor. He is so good, man. I'm a huge Wade Taylor fan for Texas A&M. That's all I'm going to say, though. If you guys got anything, go ahead.
A&M's good at putting together a defense, man. But Nebraska has a chance to have that Jimmer Fredette-esque type of moment with some of their players. They got a couple. Honestly, they got a couple names that I could see make that splash or like moment that people won't forget for years to come. I mean, let's be honest. I think Hoiberg is one of the most underrated players in the country. People don't understand that he is a scrappy POS. Honestly, it's one of those guys that you don't want to play against, but you want to have on your team. He's going to do a great job for this Nebraska team if they're able to get the first round win. And I mean, I'm going to butcher his name. Tominaga, is that?
Kisei Tominaga, let's go.
Yeah.
That guy, dude, I've watched so many Nebraska basketball games because I follow Fred Hoiberg no matter where he goes. This guy is so fun to watch, and he puts up some of the dumbest shots in the world, but so did Jimmer Fredette, man. I'm telling you, this could be the Jimmer Fredette of the tournament at the end of the day.
Yeah. I feel like as a now Nebraska resident, I have an obligation to cheer for them with almost all my heart. Almost all my heart. When it comes to basketball, when it comes to, football.
Football, whatever.
But yeah, no. Kisei, I feel like when that man gets hot, it's tough. It's tough. Like you said, it's just like why are you're at 1 second you're just like, why are you shooting that? And the next second you're like, oh my gosh, like what? but yeah, no, I'm all over the Huskers here.
Yeah, I'm with you, boys. Okay, next one. I think that this is and I sent it to Brock. This is gonna be one of my mid-major teams to look out for. James Madison, baby. I think this is gonna be a fun game against Wisconsin. Just a couple of like notes I've written down here. James Madison get up and down. Wisconsin's very slow tempo team. Just kind of opposite styles of play. Another thing I'm gonna throw out here is I mean, like we just mentioned too, the whole content thing. I mean, we got Big Cat versus PFT, man. I mean, you can't tell me they didn't do that on purpose. So I think that's kind of funny too, the whole Barstool deal. But I don't know. I think James Madison gets it done. I'm gonna spoil one of my picks here. I'm taking James Madison.
One of those games where I won't be able to make a decision until Wednesday night.
I'll trail Jamu. I'm on it.
Hunter's
I'll follow ball knowledge.
I'm a big James Madison guy during football, so I might have to go James Madison.
This
but
was a
Final Four team for sure, 100%, definitely.
Yeah, no, that should be a fun game. I kind of mentioned James Madison a little bit in that other video that Brock will post, so I won't talk too much about it. But I like James Madison. Duke Vermont. I would absolutely love to see Vermont win and rush the court. Yeah, I don't get me started on Duke. But yeah, I think Duke kind of just takes this one over, man. Vermont, I have written down. It just feels like Vermont makes a tournament every year, but they just never win. I don't know why, but they just can't get it done. I'm just going Duke.
Didn't we used to have a joke? Win every game, lose first round. I'm not going to mention which team I'm referencing, but I know that I used to say that a lot growing up. But yeah, Vermont is the definition of win every game, lose first round.
Yeah. All right, that was easy. Texas Tech, NC State. I don't know, man. It's this NC State team. Heck of a story. 5 wins in 5 days. If no one saw it, just a phenomenal story with NC State. They just turned it on in the ACC tournament. My only thing is they have to be so tired right now, man. And like, I don't know. I just have a hard time seeing them pulling this one out against Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech's a solid team. I really like Grant McCaslin. Pop Isaacs, great player as well. The one thing I will say here I'd written down, and I'll talk about it a little later too. I guess the Big 12 is 3-9 versus ACC this year. I don't know how, but I had that written down. So I don't know. This one, I don't know. Any thoughts?
No. NC State's on a high. The hangover is real, man.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, like you said, like five wins. That's impressive. Normally, I'd be like, man, like a team like them with that story, with their run, I'd be all over that. But over 5 days, like that, I'd be dead, man. Like, sure, like maybe the adrenaline's still pumping for them. I'm sure that it is. But oh my gosh, that would be something else.
Yeah. It would be. I don't know. I don't really got any more thoughts besides that. So we'll keep an eye on that. Kentucky, Oakland. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people might hate this, but I am absolutely all over fading Kentucky this tournament. I'm not saying that they're gonna lose to Oakland, but I think they're getting a lot of hype for a team that does not play any defense at all. Sure, they're probably one of my favorite teams to watch, man. I'm not gonna lie. They can put up points. Reed Shepard and Rob Dillingham, phenomenal players. We'll see them in the NBA next year. Hunter can actually probably talk maybe a little bit about that. I don't know if Hunter's checked out any mock drafts, but I think that they're fun team to watch. I just think too many people are gonna be on them, and I love Dickie V, man, but this guy is an auto fade in the tournament. I'm sorry, Dickie V. I'm throwing you under the bus here, man. I saw Dickie V had him win it all. We're fading that. I'm sorry, Dickie V. So I don't know. I think Kentucky could lose early in the tournament, but thoughts?
They're winning the first round. I think that's all I know. That's all I know about that. But yeah, they're streaky.
To honor another one. Not so fast, my friend. But no, I think I just don't know. Like, I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, okay? I'm not a huge college basketball follower except when it comes to the clones and when we get close to March. But I feel like that's just how a lot of SEC teams are. It's just like I just see points, right? And the moment they meet a defense that is competent, if they go on a cold streak, like, it's gonna be an embarrassing game for them. And so I said, yeah, like she said, I have a hard time putting Kentucky very far, honestly, because the moment, I mean, once again, Big 12 hoops, man, Big 12 hoops. That next round, so.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. And they just put up so many threes, man. And if one night goes wrong, kind of like we talked about BYU earlier, I mean, who knows? But yeah, that'll be an interesting to see how Kentucky does. And then we got Florida versus the winner of Boise State and Colorado.
Cheeseburger Eddie.
Eddie left it. Let's go.
Eddie, Colorado, man, they are my dark horse to make a little run here. I don't know if there's a certain stat, but I know the teams in the first four have done extremely well over the past years, and I think this is going to be the matchup where a team will have success. I know Brock will talk about the other first four matchup, but I don't really see success in that one. So I would keep an eye on Colorado, man. I got Colorado beating Boise, and I'm going to probably have Colorado beating Florida as well. I'm just going to give KJ Simpson a huge shout out on here. I mean, he's probably one of my favorite players to watch in college basketball. He's phenomenal. He can get buckets. He can light it up from three. I'm just going to give him a quick shout out. And then I think that's all I got with that one. You boys got anything?
The 10 seeds going to the not Sweet 16, at least around a 32, if not the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I would agree.
Cheeseburger Eddie.
Jumping in the market. Yeah, Cheeseburger Eddie. He's a dog. Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I don't think Marquette's really. I don't know. Shaka is not it, man. I'm sorry if you like Shaka. He just.
I am Shaka that you said that.
That's tough. All right.
Funny guy.
All right. See you guys next week.
I know.
No, they don't have a good. He doesn't have a good history in the tournament since leaving and going to Texas and now at Marquette. I mean, heck, Paul Jesperson, baby. I saw that video on Twitter. Shout out the Panthers, man.
On this day.
I don't know. I'm sad. I'm sad about Marquette sometimes. I'll just say that. I like seeing Marquette do well, but I just don't see it.
Hunter is the Wisconsin guy, so hey, I'm pulling for Marquette over Wisconsin, Hunter. If that makes you feel any better.
Good man. Good man.
Thank you. All right, Midwest. All I wrote down in my notes is for this first matchup is LOL. So, like,
yeah. You know. Hey, I think. All right, this might be bad to say. I think we should start a GoFundMe to pay off the refs for this first round matchup. I'm tired of the Edie fraudulent run. I want to see the refs call it the other way sometimes. All right. Give me Montana State.
Okay.
Yes, Hunter.
Purdue is the only university, I think, in NCAA Division I history to lose to every seed in the tournament. They have lost to
That's
every
hilarious.
seed. Purdue, in the last 10 years, has lost to multiple double-digit seeds in their
Name 'em
time.
off, Brock.
There's not enough time to go through all the crap that they went through. Zach Edey has lost to multiple double-digit seeds. His legacy is the definition of really good in the regular season and absolutely terrible in the postseason. This is the opportunity for him to prove everybody wrong by beating a simple 16 seed, which apparently is difficult to do because he did that last year. We all know what happened last year. Purdue, all
Hey,
you
shout
need to
out
do.
Hunter.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I was going to shout out Hunter's boys from Bozeman.
Bozeman, let's go.
But Purdue, all you need to do is win by 1 point against the 16 seed. And that's all you need to do.
Look, man, all I'm
I
saying-
get that the last time that this has happened, Virginia went on to win the national championship. But like
The stars are not
Virginia
aligning.
Virginia didn't have this history before losing to the 16 seed of losing to these terrible teams. Purdue does. Just Purdue on paper should be in the national championship. But will they? History says no. So we will see if we're even talking about them playing against Utah State or TCU. But that's all I'll say.
Man. Second coming of Kwame Brown's finna lose in that first round, man.
Oh, God.
Yes, Hunter. Kwame Brown reference on the Hardwood Convos. Love it. All right. Is everyone done ranting about Purdue? We can keep going.
I mean, I can
I'm
keep
totally
talking
fine.
about how much I hate that university, but like, whatever.
Oh, I do. We speak for everyone. We
They're
say
trash
we
at
wanna see
football,
one-
trash at basketball. Enough said.
Yes. Yep. Sorry, James Chisholm. All right. Next game here. Utah State and TCU. This one should be interesting. I think this is probably the least. Wait, I can't speak. Of the 8-9 is probably the game I don't look forward to the most. I don't know if that makes sense.
I'm
Obviously,
looking forward to more than the other region that we're about to talk about.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But yeah, I think it should be a good match. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't got a whole lot for this game, man. I just don't know how to feel about it. I think a name to look out for is Grant Osobor. Hopefully I said that right. He's a double-double machine. I know Brock loves the big guys, so I'm giving him some love from Utah State. He's phenomenal. I know I don't really got a whole lot for this TCU team, man. They're just kind of I feel like they're streaky, yeah. So
The definition
I
of this
know.
region, is streaky. All these teams are really freaking streaky. And it's going to be whichever one just goes on that streak where they are playing their best basketball probably in a row, because TCU is very streaky. Purdue, when they don't show up, they are bad. Tennessee also. Tennessee had a stinker in the SEC tournament. Texas, enough said. But you can go on. Sorry.
No. Hunter, you got anything?
Nah.
No, okay.
I hate this. This list of teams. I've said it before on this podcast. I'll say it again. This list of teams makes me sick.
Yeah, it is disgusting. Speaking of teams that make me sick, Gonzaga versus McNeese State. Please, McNeese State. Please, I'm begging you guys to win this game. I don't know if I'm gonna take them in my bracket, but I wrote down this might be my favorite match of the tournament, but I wrote down we got Mr. DUI versus Mr. Cheater. You can cheater anything you want for Will Wade. Hilarious coaching matchup. Sorry, I don't know if I should have said that, but I think it's gonna be a comical coaching matchup. I don't know. And the other thing I had written down here, man, I'm just gonna go on a rant because who cares at this point. If you have Gonzaga going far in your tournament, I would think again. I'm just gonna go off on Ryan Nembhard here. I think he's an absolute loser. I think he only cares about NIL over winning championships. There's zero reason that he should have left Creighton, but apparently he just wants more money from Gonzaga. So that's how I feel about him. I think he's a bozo. I hope he honestly sees this. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say about this matchup. But it should be a fun one, though. McNeese State's phenomenal mid-major team. Should be a great matchup.
Potential cheater v. cheater in the next round, too. That's kind of wild.
Yes, good point, Hunter.
Just saying.
I have no comment on this matchup.
No comment. All right. But yeah, I honestly, if you're gonna watch a 5-12, this might be the one. There's another one I'll talk about as well in the next region, but this will be a good one. And then next game we got Kansas versus Buckyball, aka Sanford. I think I know a lot of people are gonna be against Kansas here, and usually I like fading the public, but I think I might be with them. Sanford's shooting 39% from three this year, man. That's nuts. And Kansas has been getting torched from three. So I kind of leave Sanford. I'm a huge SoCon guy. I got my Fletcher McGee jersey I'll be wearing Thursday. Also, I'm just going to start going off topic here. If no one's watched Fletcher McGee highlights, please look it up. Greatest shooter I've ever seen in my life, man. Please look up Fletcher McGee highlights. Played for Wofford. Probably I think it was like 2017 or 2018. Please look it up, though. Anyway, Sanford's from the same conference. I don't know, man. Is Dickinson McCourt healthy? I don't know. I don't know. So
if they're healthy, Kansas, please take this with a grain of salt. I'm not being serious. If Kansas is healthy, just because of this region, if they're healthy, they could make a Final Four because of this region. If there's a coach that could do it, it's Bill Self. Whether or not you like him, dislike him, I have my opinions on him. But if they're healthy, I tell you what, this region's perfect for them.
That's crazy how Samford could be their hardest matchup. A 13 seed.
Phenomenal point, Hunter. I don't know. It is interesting, though. Shout out my boy Trey Melvin, my roommate here. He's a huge KU guy. We talked about it a little bit. He's already saying Kansas is going to make a Sweet 16. So I'm going to hold him accountable for that. But, yeah, I don't know, man. If Kansas is healthy, they're very good. Obviously, we all know, though, they got no bench. Can Nick Timberlake pull something out of his you-know-what? Possibly,
could be fun.
But we have yet to – yeah. I don't know. But yeah, the 4 and 5 in this region are very interesting, I feel like, and I don't know, I'm looking forward to this little pod. So yeah, next game, South Carolina, Oregon.
Cox.
Sorry, I feel like
my
I'm
SEC
talking
team.
Yeah, Cox. The Cox, man. They're phenomenal. Lamont Paris is a phenomenal coach, man.
Picked last
the one thing
in their conference.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were. Great point, Brock. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm kind of doing a lot of hating on this podcast, but I have a hard time seeing South Carolina moving far. I just can't see Michi Johnson leading this team. I'm just a Michi Johnson hater. Like, I don't think this guy is good at all. So I think they're kind of fraudulent. I do like the team, but I'm sorry, Brock. I'm not a huge Cox fan. Sorry, but I think though I am looking forward just for this matchup. I think the matchup of Nafali Dante for Oregon versus BJ Mack is going to be phenomenal. This is Brock's like dream come true. Classic big man versus big man. This probably be my favorite big man matchup of the whole tournament. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Sorry, I had to do a little Drew Lock.
Might be your favorite, but we were robbed of a certain different big man matchup of Eddie Lampkin and Brock Bierman of Indiana State.
No, we're not going to be talking about that. We're not bringing that back up. No.
Talking about it.
Just saying.
No,
just saying. We were robbed.
He does not look like me. Y'all are stupid. I hate you. No, yeah. I do not look like this man.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
And when he comes to play for Iowa State next year, I'll be the one that gets a jersey of him.
That'd be something.
But no, I like South Carolina, but tough matchup against an Oregon team that is feeling good. Wonder if Oregon will have a hangover after winning the last ever big Pac-12 championship. But yeah, this next matchup I can't wait to talk about.
Lead us off, Brock. Let's go.
Creighton versus a team that should not be in this tournament. Kent State, one of the worst endings in basketball history. If you have not seen the ending of Akron versus Kent State in their conference championship game, oh my gosh!
Brock, do you have the clip of that?
Let me. I'll look it up when you're going over this matchup. But let me rant real quick. I've never understood, and again, I didn't play a lot once we hit high school because I think it was a mixture of because I was big and fat, and nobody wanted to play a big and fat guy anymore. And also, I don't think certain people on that team liked me enough to put me in, but that's neither here nor there. But anyways, I've never understood when coaches went time and situation. Know the time and know the situation. I was like, why wouldn't you? Granted, most of the time, if I ever did get to play, when we're up 80 with 30 seconds left in the game, I knew the situation. I didn't get to shoot. Nobody got to shoot because we were finally taking out the rest of the players that have been playing 80 minutes a game. But anyways, this game is the definition of why coaches preach time and situation.
I think the only thing that was missing from that final 30 seconds is the classic. Do the Zips need a 3 here? That's the only thing that was missing from that entire situation. That was peak basketball, peak college basketball, Brock. And I hate that you're disrespecting that game because it was great for a sicko like me.
That game was not fun to watch.
But I can't believe you're disrespecting the Akron, Ohio. All right.
Yeah,
are you shocked?
The GOAT. The GOAT, Brock. Come on.
Oh, you talking about Duquesne's head coach?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I'm excited to see this.
Brock?
No, sorry.
I'm trying to look it up. I'm working on it.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you're good. Hunter, yeah, we'll talk about do they need a 3 here for 5 more minutes here. I mean,
they need a 3?
I've ever heard. That and what's the thing I sent you? Experienced guard play. That's analyst's favorite phrase to say as well when it comes to March. So we're gonna throw that out there. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. Do you like Akron in this matchup, or do you like Creighton? Just curious.
But so I'm obviously gonna pick Creighton. But a lot of people are gonna be like, Chase, you're an idiot, and that's okay. I don't really care. But I'm kind of lenient on Creighton this tournament, man. A lot of people have them going far, which I get. But I mean, they made a deep last year to the Elite Eight, and they pretty much have the same guys, so they should make it back, right? They should make it back. Will they? I don't know, man. It's March.
All right, here it is.
I'm so excited.
So Kent State is able to get the offensive rebound and go up by 1 here as we're showing it on our live feeds. And then they decide to foul up 1 with 6 seconds left, and Akron is in the bonus.
I mean, look at the
coach was freaking out because he was like, what are you doing? Oh, my gosh. I will never question a coach that ever says time and situation ever again.
I mean, just look at him.
Oh my gosh.
That's up there for making me cringe like this and Scott's Tots. Scott's Tots.
I'm going to say it. That's more.
Two things are bad.
That's more embarrassing than blowing a 15 point lead with a minute left. Because that's one guy that screwed the entire team. And I feel bad. Feel bad for the guy. I feel so bad because
that's tough.
It could have happened to anyone. It just happens to be him that makes that mistake. And, Kent State had other chances to win that game. It's one of those things where it's that's going to be the one play that's highlighted, unfortunately. But Akron should not be in this tournament. But Yeah, Creighton. I will get in on Creighton in a couple of minutes once we get through the rest of the regions, because I got some stats on teams that people should be careful about. But yeah, I still think Creighton wins this game.
Yep. All right. We're good to go to the next game?
Yep, go ahead.
Yep. Texas. Oh, I kind of want. Can you talk about the next matchup, Brock? I want to hear your opinions first.
These are three teams that I cannot stand. For different reasons. Texas, enough said. Horns down to the day I die. Virginia should not be in this tournament. They were like 58 in the net ranking, and they made the tournament over Indiana State. Put Indiana State in this 10 spot.
Yeah.
In this play-in game.
Put Brock in that 10 spot.
Put me in the tournament. Put me in.
Some Bierman hoops, man. Bierman
Put me in. Because apparently I look like this guy. But anyways. And then you got Colorado State. Nico Medved, who at the time I thought had one of the weirdest exits ever when he left Drake. But it ended up being one of the best exits ever because Drake has benefited from getting Darren DeVries as a head coach. I don't like any of these teams. The only person on either of these teams that I like is a fellow, since Hunter's a big Northern Iowa guy, here's my Sports Illustrated of Ali Farouk-Manesh. For people that don't know who that is, that guy defeated Kansas, the number 1 overall seed Kansas Jayhawks, in the NCAA tournament with the UNI Panthers back in like 2009, 2010. And is an assistant coach for the Colorado State team in this play-in game. He's a great coach. I think someday he could potentially be a head coach somewhere. And I tell you what, this is a complete side tangent that I know Northern Iowa hasn't been in the tournament in a while, but man, Ben Jacobson could potentially have a decent coaching tree when all is said and done. Because Seth Tuttle is an assistant coach with Northern Iowa right now, and I can tell you that he's going to be someone in the future. Maybe he takes over for Ben Jacobson when he's done coaching. But Northern Iowa's, that's a complete side tangent about a team that didn't make the tournament. But Texas, hate them. Virginia, hate them. Colorado State, don't really like them except for Ali Farouk-Manesh. So if I need to pick someone, I would pick Colorado State off of who I hate the least.
I don't know, man. Walking Bucket might have something in store for us for this matchup. So let's watch out, man.
Walking Bucket. Oh, Hunter.
I won't comment.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't comment either. I'm going to get myself in trouble. But, yeah, the only thing I'd written down here, I think, like on a serious note, I think if we get a Texas versus Colorado State matchup, the matchup between Isaiah Stevens and Max Asmus, I put heart eyes on that. I mean, that's going to be that'll be really fun to watch in all seriousness. But, yeah, Virginia shouldn't be in the tournament. I'm with you, Brock. That's a complete disgrace.
One of the few teams that shouldn't be in there. We'll have another one that we'll mention in a couple minutes.
Yes. Last one. I mean, can we see?
I don't see any 15 seeds winning this year. I really don't.
I'm with you. I'm not seeing it either.
So,
but Tennessee does choke.
That's a good point. We'll get to another 2 seed that chokes as well.
Brock, next region, Brock is pumped. But yeah, I don't know. I think Tennessee should win here. The one thing I'm going to highlight though, real quick, with Tennessee is they cannot keep relying on Dalton Connect just to save him. I mean, I saw a funny meme. I wish I could find it so Brock could post it, but it was like a picture of like Dalton Connect on the side. And it was like, and it was above. It's like, guys, can you please help me score? And then it was just the rest of the team with the caption like, woohoo, we're on TV. Like, I mean, somebody else has got to help out Dalton Connect here, man. They can't just keep relying on him. So that's all I'm going to say. Let's go to Brock's favorite region here, the West.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a yearly occurrence for me where I find myself looking at a certain team and I'm like, that's a Final Four team. And all they do is proceed to upset me and just make me sad. Just all I get to do is be sad about, because I always fall for it every year. Last year it happened too. Picked them to win the national championship. Granted, I won, I think, all my bracket groups or whatever that I was in. Still ended up doing that somehow because I lost my national championship team the first day of the tournament. Also talked them out of taking the 15 seed in that matchup. Of course, I'm talking about Arizona and Princeton last year. I took Arizona to win it all last year. I had UConn losing in the national championship to Arizona, so that's why I ended up benefiting from UConn making it all the way there. I talked out of one person who does coin flips to pick her NCAA tournament teams. And she went, "How do you feel about me taking Princeton over Arizona?" And I went, "Well, I have them winning the national championship, so I don't know if I can really tell you what to do." She proceeded to take Arizona, I think, to the Sweet 16 right after that. She finished second in the bracket challenge. And I've never heard the end of it because she would have won the bracket challenge if she would have taken Princeton. Flash forward to this year. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm taking Arizona to the Final Four again. And I am ready to be heartbroken. That's all I'm going to say.
I feel so bad for you about to lose to a man that just lost his job like earlier this week. Technically, that's a tough one to see that first round. Good luck. I wish you luck, soldier.
I'm prepared.
Oh man, yeah. No, let's talk about this one first. What do you like about Arizona, Brock? Let's hear it.
It's not necessarily what I like about Arizona. It's what I hate about this region. I just don't really
Fair
like
point.
any of the matchups that Arizona potentially could face. I don't know. North Carolina. I'm not a huge guy on like taking one and two seeds really, or a heavy amount of 1 and 2 seeds to the Final Four. But I feel like this is going to be a 1 and 2 seed matchup in the Elite Eight. That's just how I feel it's going to be. And I don't know. Dude, I really don't have a reason. I really don't. It's just when I look at this on paper and I'm just like, yeah, Arizona. Easy. Because it's a drug, man. Taking Arizona to the Final Four is a drug that you never get a high off of because they never do it.
Yeah, no, Brock, and I'm with you, dude. I will admit I was on Arizona to win all last year too. Yeah, I put a clown on my face. I'm an idiot as well. I'm with you, bro. I'm addicted. But yeah, I don't know. And I'll throw a quick little Jimmy. I think is it Jimmy Dykes, the guy who does all those SEC games. I know he always talks about 2-pointers, right? Says they flirt with you, man. They look pretty, but they don't love you back. That is exactly this
That's
Arizona
all my
team,
teams.
Brock.
That's all my
Yeah, I'm
teams
gonna
I cheer
keep on.
for.
You are not taking Arizona, man. I'm gonna talk you off of it as a good friend. Watch them make the Final Four this year. Okay.
That's why I should take them. That's why.
I just said, but yeah, no. Can we talk about like what Hunter said, the Long Beach State situation, real quick too? I mean, they literally fired their coach last Monday, and
Mutually
like, hey,
agreed to part ways, not fired.
Thank you, brother.
But yes,
yeah.
And then they proceed to win the conference tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely cheering for Long Beach State here. I think that'd be a heck of a story. See them keep going. Plus, beat Brock's Final Four team, so I can laugh at him. No, I love you, Brock. But yeah, no, I think that matchup could be fun. I have a hard time seeing Arizona lose back-to-back years to a 15 seed, but that game could be funny.
Thanks for just jinxing it.
You're welcome, buddy. I love you. But yeah, wait. Before I move on, actually, I know I mentioned you guys, like Brock said, the 1v2 Elite Eight. That would be hilarious if we did see Caleb Love versus his old team in UNC to go to the Final Four. I think that would be a heck of a storyline as well. I'm gonna throw out there.
I would love to see that matchup. There's going to be a lot of great games in this region. I don't really like this region still, though. It's more specifically on teams that I just don't like. I'm not a big fan of Baylor. I just don't And that's not necessarily of how good of a quality of team that they are. It's more of just I don't like Baylor. Enough said. Sorry, not sorry. Probably going to be one of my least favorite Big 12 teams overall after Oklahoma and Texas leave. However, I mean, we don't have to go necessarily game by game on this one. Just kind of open up for discussion. Michigan State should not be in this tournament. I'm sorry. Again, another chance that Drake could have been that 9 seed and Indiana State could have been where Drake is. Not that I want Iowa State to be playing Indiana State in the second round, but Michigan State should not be in this tournament. It is an example, and I do believe every once in a while, not all the time, the committee likes to look at the front of the jersey and decide who gets put in. And Michigan State, I feel like, is one of those teams, even though they haven't won since '99. But none of the Big Ten teams have been good in the tournament since '99. But whatever. Other teams in this region to look out for. I know I will leave the 12 seed open for Chase to talk about, but I like New Mexico. Eddie House's boy is a bucket. Watch out for them to make a Sweet 16 run. But that's all I got for this region.
Yes, bro. Yep. Hunter, you got anything?
I just gotta say, shout out my boy P-Dad. Mississippi State is a Final Four team, baby. I'm all over it. I was cheering for it. I was working. I had my phone up on where I was working at to watch all the different tournament or conference tournaments. I was cheering them on, man. I was hoping Mississippi State. I'm glad to see them here. I'm glad to see them go against the frauds at that 9 seed from the Big Ten. Something special is brewing. Something special is brewing. And MISSISSIPPI. I got a word there for a second. I thought I was going too fast and rambling, but we're good.
Yeah, shout out P-Dad's team, Mississippi State. We're all cheering for them, obviously.
Watch Michigan State upset North Carolina in the round of 32.
Heck, stop.
Brock, stop, man.
Start calling you Barack Obama the way you keep going with Michigan State every year, man.
I don't go with Michigan State. I go with Arizona.
Hey, there, bud.
Fair. Yeah. Gosh, I could talk so much about all these teams, but I'm just gonna highlight 2 teams. Actually, maybe 3 teams. Okay, we're gonna talk about the Grand Canyon Antelopes. Lope up, everybody. Lope up. As I don't know, as probably not everyone knows, but whole Seabird group chat knows, Grand Canyon's been my team since the beginning of the season, man. Absolutely riding with these guys. They got a bunch of dogs on this team, loaded. Ty Grant Foster coming from Kansas. He's a dog. He can put up points. I know Brock will post a video that I went into depth a little bit. But I think that they can get St. Mary's here. This is another upset that I kind of do like. No bias at all. But quick mention here. I feel like, and maybe you guys can speak about this too. I don't know. Have we seen St. Mary's in the second weekend before, like in our lifetime? I feel like these guys never do anything.
I will look that up, but I think you're right.
I mean, they maybe win one game and then lose, but these guys never do anything. So I don't know. I think Grand Canyon's, they've obviously been my team. I'm riding with them. Ride or die, Lopes. I could talk so much. Another team though, New Mexico, like Brock mentioned, Jalen House is probably one of the more, like, I don't know if this is not a word, funner. I'm gonna use the word funner. I know it's not a word. Funner people to watch in the country, man. Absolutely electrifying. His dad says he's a bucket.
Celtic legend.
Celtic legend, Eddie House. Yeah, no, I mean, they're good. I think they're absolutely going to blow by the backcourt of Chase Hunter and Joe Girard for Clemson. I mean, I just think it's going to be New Mexico's favored. Did you guys see that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, the 11 seed is favored in this matchup, so that's saying something. I think Jalen House is more electrifying to watch than a certain women's basketball player. Please, everyone attack me in the comments. I don't care. I need to throw that out there. And then also, I'm really cheering for New Mexico here because I forget the Clemson's coach's name, but he was coming at the Big 12. So I kind of hope he gets some karma here, and New Mexico just whoops him. So I'm a huge New Mexico guy here. And then lastly, Eddie House, Rock.
Celtic
his son's
legend,
Bucky,
baby.
man. His son's so fun to watch. But yeah, last team, I think the Dayton, Nevada game is actually gonna be pretty solid. I literally wrote down who's going to stop Deron Holmes and who's going to stop Keenan Blackshear. I mean, both these players are going to be phenomenal this game. I think it's just going to be back and forth. However, I also wrote down, can I cheer for Steve Alford? I don't know if I can get myself to do it.
I can cheer for Steve Alford.
That's all I have.
I can cheer for Steve Alford because he doesn't coach the University of Iowa anymore.
Yeah. And speaking about the University, so I think we're all done with this. So speaking about the University of Iowa, we got the little brother game coming up. I think is that tomorrow?
Is it really tomorrow? Good Lord.
I think it's coming up in days. But yeah, I think that's gonna be hilarious seeing K-State and Iowa play. I've already seen some of their fans interact with each other. It's just hilarious to watch from the sidelines. So just a little NIT.
If you guys haven't seen it yet, go on Twitter, and I think I sent this to Chase, so he knows what I'm talking about. And find, I think it's at GifHawk2. This guy made a one shiny moment of the Kansas State Wildcats basketball team season.
Incredible.
And I tell you what, it is one for the record books. It is one for the record books. And it ends with this photo of Jesus and the NIT at the end. And it's cinema, baby.
Absolute cinema.
Yeah, Hunter and I were talking about that today too, man. Everyone, yeah, greatest video out there. Go find it. Maybe I should just retweet it. But yeah, it's a masterclass. So yeah. Wow, guys, we just went through the whole bracket.
Incredible.
I mean, do we want to dive in on the first four out and last four in at all? Because I'll go quick. So this is the last four in: Boise State, Colorado, Virginia, Colorado State. The fact that Michigan State is not in a last four in situation tells you all you need to know about how the committee sometimes picks teams. Out of all these teams, Colorado is the most deserving. I would take Colorado, put them over Oklahoma in this first four out, change this to the last four in, and have Colorado, Seton Hall, Indiana State, and Pitt as the last four in. That was what I truly believe should have been the last four in. I don't like Virginia whatsoever. Colorado State is streaky, and Boise State doesn't do anything for me. By the way, can we talk about, let me see if I can find the graphic here, how the Mountain West got 6 teams into the NCAA tournament, and the Big East only got 3.
Yeah, no, that's been my whole Twitter timeline today, Brock. It's an absolute disgrace. It's a joke, man. And like, I kind of like the Mountain West, but I mean, come on, man, really?
I mean, I guess like Hunter said, it's the Mountain Best.
Best, baby. Mountain West, Mountain West.
But the Big 12 and SEC led the way with 8 seeds. Real quick before we wrap up, Hunter, I don't think we're gonna do a wise words if you're good, since we didn't do an NBA episode.
I have one thing I want to mention.
Okay.
By the end.
You want to just go in on?
I am not gonna let the tournament distract us from the fact that this happened last night. The Dallas Mavericks, Kyrie Irving, left hand buzzer beater on the Denver Nuggets. That man was headhunting Nikola Jokic. Get him out of those MVP talks, or please get him out.
Love it. I love it. I knew there was one song. Okay, so things to consider when you're filling out your bracket this week. No team in history has lost their first game in their respective conference tournament and proceeded to win the national championship. So teams like Tennessee, Creighton, who I know, Chase, you said that I think you said that you have them going far, but hey, it's not a national championship. Oh, you don't have them going far.
No, dude. I think I'm going to be against the crowd here. I think that they might get upset early. And
okay.
No one's going to.
I don't hate that. But like Tennessee, Creighton, Kentucky, a lot of people have Kentucky making a deep run. Kansas and Duke. If you're filling out a bracket, those teams should not be in your championship, or at least you should not pick them to win the championship, because no team has lost their respective conference tournament the first game and won the national championship. Another thing, I think 11 out of the last 14 national champions were third or better in the final RPI ranking heading into the conference tournament week. Houston, UConn, and Purdue were the top three. The three teams below them, though, Auburn, Arizona, followed by Iowa State. So we talked about Auburn being a sneaky team that could potentially make a run, and Bruce Pearl's really good at having tournament runs with this Auburn team. Houston, UConn, Purdue. Purdue's the one team that shocked me a little bit, but at the same time doesn't, because they're really good at winning every game, losing first round. Finally, I think all but one in the last 10, and I'll have to look this up to confirm, but I think in the last 10 championships, all but one had the national champion team was outside of the top 6 in the final coaches poll. So the top 6 of the coaches poll in the final week: Houston, UConn, Purdue, North Carolina, Tennessee, Creighton. 2 teams below them, Arizona and Iowa State. So if you're looking to go against the grain a little bit, but also still be around the same area, Arizona and Iowa State are the 2 teams that you may want to consider for your national championship, because they haven't lost a conference tournament. They didn't lose their first conference tournament game, but they're also a little bit on the outside of the RPI rankings and just outside of the top 6 of the coaches poll as well. But if you take Tennessee, Creighton, Kentucky, Kansas, or Duke, I'm sorry, but you're probably not going to win your bracket challenge, because they did not win their first round of their respective conference tournament. But those are just a couple things that I had written down for people to be considering when they fill out their bracket. We will have our brackets released probably Thursday morning or Wednesday night, depending on when you guys get your brackets done. You guys can send me a photo or whatever, and we can get that posted on social media so you guys can harass us for our great picks and our terrible picks. Trying to think of other things that we have. We'll be back we'll probably do an NBA episode next weekend instead of NCAA. We just wanted to talk a little bit of college hoops, since, it's a big situation in the world of sports right now. Last thing, I guess, graphic wise, that I will have for people to use to their advantage is the win percentage by seeds. 8 matchups, man. The 9 seed usually wins. Something I would consider when filling out your bracket. Of course, separated by 4 games, literally. So it is literally a toss-up between those 2 teams. I know these win percentage may scare you from taking some of these 12-5 matchups, the 11-6 matchup, 10-7, but those, at least 1 or 2 12-5 games go in favor of the 12 seed. And I'll tell you what, a couple 10-7s may go in favor of the 10 seeds this year as well. But any final comments before we sign off, guys?
I did, Brock. I kind of liked your little stat session there, dude. That was awesome. I will throw out, and I think I texted you this, but I thought this one was interesting. So since I forget where I found this, but since 2004, there hasn't been back-to-back years where it hasn't been like a 1 seed win at all. So like last year was a 4 seed in UConn. So it's been like 20 years since like a 1 seed win it the next year. So, and I'm not telling you how to fill out your bracket. I just thought that was really interesting as well. So I'm just going to throw it out there as well.
When's the last time? Is Florida the last time that we've had a back-to-back national champion too?
That is too.
So,
yeah. I'll give a shout out to Chad Winterbore here. He's all against the UConn train. He says they're not repeating, so I have to give him a shout out. So
maybe I need to put Arizona in my. Maybe I need to take Arizona all the way then. I need to be checked into rehab, man. All right. Well, we'll have our brackets posted sometime this week. We'll have another video or 2 posted as well on social media. But a couple more podcasts may be coming out this week. I don't know if we'll do a Sports Nerds one with the NFL. A lot of things happened since the last episode that we did. We tried to recap most of the free agency stuff that happened, I think, before Tuesday or Wednesday of last week. But, more things have happened. By the way, if you're in a group chat with me and you start texting me about Justin Fields getting traded to the Steelers in the middle of the Big 12 championship game where Iowa State's playing in it, you are dead to me. That's all I got to say. But for Chase Winterbore, Hunter Rose, and Dawson, who wasn't able to make it tonight, I'm Brock Bierman. We are the Hardwood Convos crew here on the 515 Podcast Network. Enjoy the games this week. Enjoy March Madness. It's a blast. One of my favorite times of the year. Like Chase loves to say, we sleep in April, or I mean in May. We sleep in May.
Hey.
In May. But we'll see you guys next week. Maybe we'll recap some of it, but we'll be back with some NBA talk as well here on the Hardwood Convos podcast here on the 515 Podcast Network.